Please, God. This is God.
I am so excited to chat with you both, as I'm sure you hear all the time. The original is one of my favorites, and it's crazy to think we are here at the 40th anniversary, but also just in time for Halloween. How does it feel for both of you, reflecting on the legacy that you both have, not only in the genre, but with this film?
I mean, I know for myself, Robert would agree with me, we're so proud to be part of something that's this culturally significant and important, and that we get so much back from our fans who also appreciate this movie so much. So I feel really grateful. I feel not that old that I can't possibly be celebrating a 40th anniversary. I feel like that time must have had some kind of mashup in there, but it's humbling and exciting at the same time.
I think with hindsight too, one of the things I'm really proud of, and I don't want to sound preachy here or like I'm virtue signaling, but we really are the film that finally brought the horror fangirl, to en masse to the movie theaters, and I know that Sigourney Weaver contributed to that, and Jamie Lee Curtis, but with Heather and our wonderful Alice, Lisa Wilcox,
and Patricia Arquette,
and Monica Keena in Freddy vs. Jason, Lisa Zane as my daughter, always the strong survivor girl in our films, always that journey to take for all of the female fans of genre. And I think that was a real important contribution to cinema history, and I'm proud of that.
I couldn't agree more. Every final girl that we see in this franchise just has such a unique power to them. I love it. So, Heather, you just mentioned, getting so much back from fans like myself, and I'd love to hear from both of you, actually. Even Freddy being the villain, is there something that you've heard, you both have heard from fans that has really stuck with you as far as your characters go, whether it be something positive or maybe on Freddy's side, something a little more villainous?
Well, I did a documentary called I Am Nancy 12 years ago, and one of the women that I featured had lost her leg in an accident, and her story, it's similar to many, many stories that I hear, but she was in the hospital for many weeks and months, and she watched Nightmare on Elm Street every single day, thinking to herself, if Nancy can go through all that with Freddy, then I certainly can go through all this in my life. And that just blew my mind that people would have that kind of relationship with Nancy as a character. And I do believe they do form that kind of relationship with her. Sometimes I don't feel responsible for it because it's really Wes Craven's, his creation. But I really am proud of the way that, at least I was able to bring it to life in the way Wes intended. And I don't know if even he intended to have so much effect on people's lives. And it's not just girls, it's everybody that I meet who have struggles in their life. I ask them, what's your Freddy? And they always have a response, and I can identify with them and say, yeah, that's a tough one.
There's also a strange phenomenon that I've realized as I add up my experiences with fans and talking to fans. I always thought of, because I'm a movie actor, I began as a movie actor, I always thought of Freddy, the Nightmares films are in a movie theater. But most of our fans came to us on video and DVD, and streaming. And because of that, they saw us at home. And because of that, many times it was shared with family. Now, we're several generations into our fans, Heather and I, and there are moms and dads that have passed away from that first generation. But I have countless fans come up and tell me about a dad taping steak knives to his fingers and scratching the sliding glass doors, of the family room or the den, or a stepfather who would let them watch the movie, and mom wouldn't, or they'd have, their parents were divorced and they had a Sunday dad and they would go to his house and he would let them watch it. But they shared that, and he's gone now, and they have that experience of turning dad on to a horror movie that was part of their generation and their world, and he liked it too, or vice versa. An older brother or an older sister or a parent who let the kids see it because they liked horror movies and turned their kids on to the genre, and they have that memory of it being a familial experience, which I never think of in terms of Nightmare on Elm Street. I think of that collective sitting in the dark in a movie theater experience, but not that sitting around the living room, with a cold pizza, but watching it and stopping it and pausing it and rewinding and talking about it with mom and dad or a brother and
Yes,
sister.
so true.
Yeah, and so I think that's a real a mark that the technology, along with the franchise, made on the culture.
I couldn't agree more. And if anything, the home aspect really plays into the sort of suburban nature of the original movie and makes it even more terrifying. So it's
every town has an Elm Street. Yeah.
This is true. This is too true.
They've also got a Broadway and a Main Street too, but nobody says that. Yeah.
Well, I see I'm already out of time, so I will get on out here. But again, thank you both so much. It's been an absolute honor, and I hope to chat with you on other projects you've got coming up in the future.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Let me know.
Happy Halloween.
Hey, Nancy. No running in the hallway.